perfect. He's perfect, but he has blonde hair.
What if you had an issue? And I said something about that, or like that about you when you had an issue. Like that's not nice. It doesn't make sense.
Just try and make the internet like a better place. Like if you don't like the way he looks, don't say anything about it. Just scroll and.
Can you pull daddy?
Sissy, go get your pineapple.
Oh, shit.
Go, Sissy.
The Churco family looks like every other wholesome family vlog on TikTok, until you actually pay attention. Then you start seeing something most of their followers are missing, and it's disturbing as hell.
These people putting their kids on camera in more and more distressing situations is absolutely horrific.
Nick and Lainey Churco have 4 kids under 5, Blakely, Briar, Grady, and Graham. Kids too young to understand what's happening to them, let alone consent to having their entire lives broadcast to millions of strangers. And the content that performs best and gets hundreds of thousands of views, they all have one thing in common. Their kids are either crying in them or scared or sometimes confused. And most of the time, genuinely distressed, while the parents are in a corner laughing their throats out as the views rake in. One way we trace this is through the famous poop pranks. For this disturbing prank, they convince their toddler there's actual poop on their hands, watch them completely lose it, film the entire reaction, then casually reveal it was just chocolate. Not once or even twice, but on multiple occasions. Just because of the distress and views this prank brings, the Churcos run the same setup on multiple kids, multiple times, because it works. Briar got it twice.
Oh. Sorry, I got some poo-poo on you.
Blakely got it once. Grady got it once. And every time it's the same reaction from the kids, from a complete breakdown to hyperventilating sobs and even genuine distress. And each and every time you can hear Nick and Lainey laughing in the background because they've figured out that a toddler's disgust response converts to views better than anything else they post. Another prank that confirms this is the terror prank we found where Nick dressed up in a full disguise and started chasing the kids around their house. They were screaming, trying to climb away from this masked figure because they were kids and didn't understand this was supposed to be funny. But this didn't just appear out of nowhere. Years before the poop pranks and the terror tactics, there were warning signs. Serious signs enough that Nick's own mother saw what was coming and tried to stop it. Reportedly, Nick's mother watched Lainey, who got pregnant at 19, chased out of her parents' house, obsessed with her phone, constantly filming instead of preparing for motherhood. And she called her out for it. Called her a TikTok bitch for prioritizing social media over everything else, allegedly. So how did that confrontation lead to this? How did 2 people in their 20s go from a basement with nothing to a $29 million family vlogging operation built off their children's tears? And what choices did they make along the way that finally turned family content into systematic exploitation? First, let's start with the prank that got so much backlash they had to scrub it from the internet entirely, the fake labor prank. And this one needs the full story because it's genuinely one of the most disturbing things we've come across in family vlogging content. Now, although this video has been scrapped from the internet, 2 years ago, someone on Reddit broke down the entire thing. The Reddit comment, username Dottie Parker, said, "I am truly disgusted. Doing a prank that you're laboring at 27 weeks, especially when you've supposedly had a scare and have a high-risk pregnancy, is contemptible. They should be run off the internet for this one." So here's how it goes. Lainey was 27 weeks pregnant with their 4th baby. Now, 27 weeks is not full term, which is around 40 weeks. It's not even close. One day, they'd just gotten home from Walmart. Briar was grumpy and needed a nap. And then Lainey started screaming, saying her water just broke. Nick immediately panicked. He's thinking his wife is going into premature labor and their baby is in serious danger. Blakely, their toddler, keeps looking all confused and scared. In the same breath, Lainey was also calling family members, letting them all believe this emergency was real. Her dad, grandparents, and everyone was panicking. After dragging it out as long as possible, she finally reveals the truth that she was just kidding. Blakely was still confused. Family members started calling back furious. Lainey's own father even called her a stupid idiot too, and Lainey was just laughing. No remorse or second thoughts about traumatizing her child and extended family. The comments section went insane with the comments. Real NICU parents showed up with their stories. Women who'd actually given birth at 27 or 28 weeks. Stories about their babies fighting for life. About months in hospitals. About disabilities and fears and not knowing if their children would make it. They told Lainey exactly why this prank was so cruel. Reddit user Susie9797 wrote, "My firstborn, a son, was born at 28 weeks and spent nearly 3 months in the NICU. Eventually, after the backlash became impossible to ignore, the Churcos deleted the video. And we're thinking it's not because they understood what they'd done was wrong, but because it was hurting their brand. But the internet doesn't forget. The receipts are still out there." But that wasn't isolated. We went back through their catalog, and what we found is video after video of them deliberately terrifying their kids, capturing every second of it, posting it online for views. In a video they captioned Churco Family Easter Part 2, it all started with Nick exactly trying to let his fans know that they were about to turn their happy kid into a freaked out crying one.
How do we go from this to this?
The video shows Easter morning going fine at first. They were at their Lainey's parents' house. Blakely was hunting for Easter eggs and having a great time. Everything was normal until she saw her grandma fall while leading their dog and got scared. Instead of comforting and helping their terrified daughter, Nick keeps the camera rolling. You can hear him and Lainey laughing while Blakely was genuinely distressed, crying, trying to get away from that disaster. However, that Easter video wasn't the only one. There's another where Nick took things even further. He dressed up in a full Easter bunny costume and decided the best way to celebrate the holiday was to repeatedly terrorize Briar. Nick was in this giant bunny costume, and instead of making it fun or playful, he was using it to scare his toddler daughter over and over again. Briar was clearly terrified, trying to get away, and he just kept coming at her, making her panic. It gets worse. At some point, they put that massive bunny head on their baby, this huge costume head on an infant who can't even process what's happening. And Lainey was just in the background laughing, watching toddlers panic like that is peak comedy. People in the comments called out exactly what was happening, that this wasn't funny, and that using your children's fear for entertainment is disturbing. One commenter said, "You'll need to quit scaring Briar. She don't like the Easter Bunny, Lainey. You and Nick are so stupid and immature. You'll need to grow up and be mature adults. If you would have left her alone, she was going to start crawling. Briar is so cute." Another wrote, "Seriously, how is scaring your baby funny and entertaining to you people? It's disturbing how you actually get a kick out of making your children cry. Be better." The terror pranks don't stop at Easter. There's another video where they used fake tongues to completely traumatize Blakely. They set it up like a game and asked Blakely to pull their tongues, made it seem fun and playful, and then when she did, they pretended she'd ripped their tongues completely out of their mouths. At this point, Blakely's reaction wasn't laughter, but pure panic. She started backing away, genuinely terrified that she had hurt her dad.
Did you pull it too hard? Look, that's Daddy's real one. It was fake one.
All of that is crazy, but this is what should actually terrify you. Their backstory, which tells you that these people have been longing for this their entire life. It didn't start with the mansion and the almost 5 million followers. It started with a pregnant 19-year-old Lainey, a furious set of parents, and a choice that was the drive for why this video exists. Allegedly, Lainey got pregnant in late 2020. She was 19 years old, while Nick was 22 at the time. And when Lainey's parents found out, they were not happy. Not just disappointed or concerned for Lainey, they were deeply furious. The kind of anger that comes when your teenage daughter gets pregnant with no plan, no job, no ambition, and no clear path forward. So her parents kicked her out. Lainey and Nick had nowhere to go. She had no money, no place to stay, and a baby on the way. And that's when Nick's mother stepped in. She opened her home to them, gave them shelter during the pregnancy, handled the basics while they figured out what came next. But there was a problem, and that problem was Lainey's priorities. While living in Nick's mom's house, Lainey was constantly on her phone, not looking for jobs or helping around the house. She was on TikTok, scrolling, filming, posting, building her social media presence. Eventually, the tension built for months, and finally, Nick's mom had enough. During one argument, she snapped and called Lainey exactly what she saw her as, a TikTok bitch. Now, that's not just an insult. You can call that an observation. Nick's mother only called out a behavior that needed to be called out. And honestly, she was right. But Lainey didn't take it as a wake-up call. She took it as a declaration of war. And she gave Nick an ultimatum, which is to choose the woman who just got called out for her social media obsession, or choose the mother who sheltered you when you had nothing. And surprisingly, Nick chose Lainey. He cut off his mother. And it wasn't just his mom who he cut off. Most of Nick's extended family got cut off too. His grandmother, his siblings, the entire family that had been there for him just disappeared from his life because Lainey demanded it. Nick's younger brother, who goes by the username SecretClick8690, eventually came forward too, posting on Reddit about the pain of being cut off from his brother's family. He talked about how the Churcos made fake abuse claims to block any contact, how they weaponized accusations to keep the family away. And all of this while Nick and Lainey built their brand around family is everything. The irony is almost funny if it wasn't so sad. Family is everything when the family's on camera generating revenue, but Nick's actual family, the people who tried to help them when they had nothing, don't exist in the Churco universe. So after burning that bridge, cutting off everyone on Nick's side, where did they go? Back to Lainey's parents. The same parents who'd been furious about the pregnancy and kicked Lainey out. Somehow they'd forgiven enough to take them in, and Nick and Lainey moved into their renovated basement in Georgia. And this is where the Churco brand really began, in that basement. They stayed there for about 2 to 3 years, from 2021 until they bought the farm around 2024, and in later vlogs, Lainey thanked her parents constantly. Calls the basement where everything began, romanticizes it as their humble origin story, but she conveniently leaves out the part where her parents were furious about the pregnancy. She definitely doesn't mention Nick's mom, who actually helped them first and got erased for her trouble.
Okay guys, so we are back where everything began.
So if you guys were here in the very beginning, we actually lived in my parents' basements. We basically started with nothing. We lived here in this exact spot. It has been renovated, but we did.
And in that basement, with baby Blakely as their first subject, Nick and Lainey Churco learned the most important lesson of their careers. Exploit your children, and the internet will pay you for it. Blakely was born on August 28, 2021, and from the moment she entered the world, she wasn't just Nick and Lainey's daughter. She was content. Her first smiles and her newborn milestones, all of it immediately posted to TikTok and Instagram. They even created a separate Instagram account just for her, run by her parents obviously, that now has over 120,000 followers. At first, the content seemed innocent enough. Young parents navigating life with a new baby, relatable chaos, sweet moments, the kind of stuff people genuinely enjoy living.
Good morning, Blakely. Hey, crazy hair.
Hey, Daddy.
You're so pretty.
Nick came across as a good dad, always bringing laughs, keeping things light.
Babe, where's the baby?
What do you mean?
Where's the baby? Where's the baby? Nick.
Lainey seemed like a regular mom just trying to figure it out. And Blakely was simply so adorable. Big reactions, expressive face, the kind of personality that naturally draws people in. But if you go back and watch those early videos now, knowing what comes later, you can pinpoint the exact moment things shifted. And this is the moment Mr. and Mrs. Churco realized what actually made the algorithm happy. The video that changed everything was called Toddler Sees Her Sister for the First Time. This was in June 2023 when Briar was born. Blakely was almost 2 years old, and they filmed her reaction to meeting her baby sister. The kind of genuine moment that people love to watch. That video blew up to over 500,000 views.
Look, baby. Look. That's your sissy. Sissy. Oh, your sissy. Look at her little toes. On the head.
Naturally, the comments were full of people praising the pure emotion, talking about how beautiful and genuine it was. Comments like, I was about to cry when I saw her like that. I don't like to see babies like that. That's when I cry. But they're so cute together. They're wonderful girls and blessing girls. It seems that very day, Nick and Lainey learned something crucial. Blakely's big emotions made them money. The algorithm had shown them the formula. Videos where Blakely cried had big reactions, or showed genuine distress performed better than anything else they posted. So around late 2022 and into 2023, you can watch their content shift. The wholesome cuddles and calm family vlogs started getting replaced with reaction bait, using captions like, "Daddy breaks toddler's heart," "Toddler puts daddy in his place," "Toddler this, toddler that." They'd set up situations specifically designed to get Blakely to react. And if you look at the view counts, it's obvious why. Now look at what they were pulling in before this. Take this video, for example. That video blew up compared to regular family content. Why? Because the algorithm prioritizes emotional reactions. A toddler crying tears of joy is engagement gold. So from this, the lesson is crystal clear. Manufactured drama sells. Create a situation that gets a big reaction out of the kid. Crying, screaming, fear, confusion, whatever makes people stop scrolling. Film it, post it, and watch the money roll in. Around this time, Blakely was the golden child. She has her own Instagram account, Disney princess dresses, everything revolved around what she wanted. And then they started teaching her to manipulate, actually coaching this toddler on how to use tears to get what she wants. Now, the snark communities have been tracking this since the beginning. Back in May 2023, someone posted on TikTok Gossip saying, "This family just sickens me. They use their 2-year-old daughter as a cash cow, who always cries when she gets told no, and then they cave, or at least one of them does." And they were right. Blakely has been working since birth, generating income for her parents since she was born. The view counts tell you everything you need to know. Videos where Blakely's crying or upset pull in 300,000 views or more. The algorithm loves Blakely's emotions, and Nick and Lainey learned to feed it exactly what it wants. So by the time Briar was born in June 2023, they'd perfected the formula, and everything they learned from exploiting Blakely, they would perfect with the next child, Briar. Briar Churco was born on June 5th, 2023, and just like her older sister, she was introduced to the world almost immediately. Instagram photo just 2 days after birth. Then came the viral video that featured Blakely we mentioned earlier. They even created a separate Instagram account for Briar, just like they'd done for Blakely. Started posting milestone videos, "Our baby is talking" type content, positioning her as the next star before she could even walk.
Honestly, she has also been talking so much. She basically repeats anything we say, and sometimes we don't get it on camera, but it's the funniest thing. And she's only 11 months old, so I'm actually shocked at like how much she actually is talking. She's copying my hands too. Sometimes she'll just babble, and it'll be like, and it's actually really funny.
Briar's situation was different though. She was about to face something far worse than what Blakely went through. Where Blakely was labeled the princess, the sassy, independent golden child who could do no wrong, Briar became the foodie. But it wasn't just the foodie. Here's a comment on Reddit on how they feel Briar and being treated in the entire Churco content system. They're starting to use her more, which means they'll be repeating everything they do with Blakely, both the nasty pranks and the overworking exploitation. And if you think that's reading too much into it, the snark communities noticed it immediately. Briar was always introduced as Blakely's sister, always secondary, always less important. This comment says, "This is just a rant. I think it's sad that Briar was never able to be the baby of the family." The uneven treatment wasn't subtle either. There's a video from April 2025 where Blakely pushes Briar aside during some kind of age test activity.
Go.
And of course, this particular video got people talking on Reddit. This comment expressed how they don't feel good about Blakely shoving Briar out of the way. They said, "I didn't like the way Blakely clearly shoved Briar out of the way in the running test, and they didn't say anything about it. Briar obviously would not have understood it was just for Blakely, so they should have kept her out of the way." But where the cruelty really shows is how they specifically torture Briar with food. And that's no exaggeration. The Churcos have created deliberate setups designed to make a toddler break down so they can film it. The Oreo incident is a perfect example. In that video, Nick gives an Oreo to Briar. She takes it, excited because she's a toddler and cookies are exciting. And then Nick swoops in and rips it out of her hands mid-bite. Immediately, Briar starts wailing, and Nick and Lainey think this is hilarious. But the Dr. Pepper situation might be even worse. There's a video where Briar, barely 1 year old, is begging for Dr. Pepper, and instead of redirecting this toddler who's clearly developed a concerning obsession with soda, they give her to drink.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. You don't need Dr. Pepper. I know it's an obsession, but you can't have it. Hey, babe, come here. Papa. Nom 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 yeah.
Someone on Reddit broke down exactly what happened in that video, and their reaction says it all. The absolute disgust. Can we all just take a second to appreciate the full extent of Nick and Lainey's stupidity and uselessness? Their 1-year-old is crying, and the solution is to give her a full can of Dr. Pepper to walk around with? Another commenter expressed their full, undiluted concern, saying, "You must stop giving her that pop, it's sugar, and sugar is poison. This is the reason she is so cranky. The sugar and caffeine has her emotional unbalanced. Please stop the sugar. You're going to ruin that child. It's not funny neither." Now, this doesn't just end with Dr. Pepper. We found some other videos which suggest that these parents were probably on a mission to create a sugar addiction for their toddler. In a video titled "Our Baby Tries Soda," they hand Briar a cup of Sprite. She drinks it, loves it, starts gulping it down. Then Nick snatches it away mid-drink.
You cannot have Sprite. And it's not even open. Sissy, we can't have Sprite. You're a baby, you need water. She's like, Daddy, this tastes really good.
Baby.
No, that was you.
Trying to blame it on our 2-year-old daughter?
It was not me.
Give Mommy just Sprite. You can't have Sprite. How about some water? Oh, is it good? Yeah? Oh, that was easy enough. She's trying to open it. Do you want to try it? I think that's a yes.
Well, Lainey keeps saying, "You're just a baby in the background," like she means it.
We can't have Sprite. You're a baby, you need water.
Then there's the sweet tea video they posted on TikTok where baby Briar was guzzling sweet tea nonstop. And the supposed adult in the room, Lainey, who should be in control, was filming close up and encouraging it.
Have sweet tea. Can Mommy have some sweet tea? So can I have some sweet tea? Okay, sorry.
There are also a couple other videos that support this gluttonous sugar addiction that's gradually growing in baby Briar.
I have never seen a baby like sweet tea so much in my life. Sorry.
As if all of that isn't enough, Lainey one time referred to Briar as a tiny foodie, giving her that foodie position in their entire content empire. Now, a few months later, something shifted. Briar started becoming the favorite. Her reactions weren't as big. The algorithm was getting bored, but Briar's foodie antics and her first words were still fresh. Her meltdowns still had that toddler unpredictability that makes views, so she became the new cash cow. Blakely went from princess to supporting character, and Briar went from Blakely's sister to the main attraction. The cycle continues with a new victim. But being the favorite doesn't mean being treated better. It just means being the primary target. and Nick and Lainey found new ways to torture Briar for content beyond food. They started playing these mommy or daddy games where they'd make Briar choose between her parents, pit a toddler against the two people she loves most, and film her trying to navigate an impossible choice. When she picks Nick, Lainey acts devastated for the camera. When she picks Lainey, Nick pretends to be hurt. And Briar, who's 2 years old, has to deal with thinking she's causing her parents pain by loving them.
This is ridiculous. She always used to say mama. And now she just wants to keep saying dada.
She's daddy's girl, that's
No,
why.
it's rude. Briar, it is not dada, it is mama.
So let's pause a second and zoom out. By now you're probably wondering exactly how big this operation has gotten, how much money we're actually talking about, and who these 4 kids really are in the machinery their parents have built. The Churco family YouTube channel currently sits at 4.99 million subscribers. They've racked up 5.64 billion views across 3,573 videos. On TikTok, they've got over 8 million followers, and Blakely's personal Instagram has 120,000 followers, and the family account pulls in hundreds of thousands more. Now let's talk money, because this is actually the reason Nick and Lainey do what they do. The Churco family channel pulls over 62 million views every month. Based on YouTube's ad rates, they're making at least $3.7 million a year just from ads. That's around $248,900 a month, every single month. But here's the thing, some channels pull in $7 per 1,000 views, which would put them closer to $6.7 million annually. And we're still only talking about YouTube ad revenue here. This doesn't count sponsorships, brand deals, merch sales, affiliate links, or whatever else they've got going on behind the scenes. So their estimated net worth would be somewhere between $14.9 million and $20.9 million, depending on who's doing the math. Before they moved into their dream house in December 2025, they were posting 5 to 7 videos per week. They paused briefly to settle into the new place, but they're already back to daily vlogs and shorts. We finally moved into our dream house, posted December 8th. Over 11 minutes of content showing off the mansion that their children's exploitation purchased.
Today we have a special video for you. It is a little sneak peek into our brand new house. We just moved in like 2 days ago, so all the kids are asleep so that we can do this peacefully. They're absolutely amazing and blessings to our family, but...
Of course the kids are a blessing to the family, Nick. They literally got that mansion. Now each of the 4 Churco kids has been assigned a role, a personality, a brand identity that makes them useful for content. And these roles tell you everything you need to know about how Nick and Lainey see their kids. We already covered how Blakely funded the empire and is now being phased out, and how Briar is currently the star pulling in the biggest numbers with her food meltdowns. So let's talk about the other kids in this operation. Grady is the troublemaker, the one with the big temper and hitting issues. He's barely a year old and he's already labeled the problem child, the one who gets tested the harshest, who gets the least grace, who exists in their content as the difficult one. He's being set up to be the family's scapegoat before he can even speak in full sentences.
Grady, are you okay?
Did you hit your head?
Grady. Absolutely not.
Grady, you come here right now. Grady, you do not hit girls, whether it's your mommy or your sisters or any girl.
Graham, the last baby, is the newborn miracle, the milestone prop. They've already posted content defending his head shape against trolls, turning even criticism of their infant into engagement content. He hasn't been assigned his full personality yet because he's too young, but don't worry, they'll figure out which role makes him the most useful soon enough. The way the Churcos present themselves to the world is exactly what you'd expect. Fun-loving Christian family sharing life's best moments, parenting adventures, farm challenges, heartwarming milestones on our Georgia dream property. It's a carefully constructed brand, and millions of people buy into it completely. They don't see the exploitation, don't notice the manufactured distress, and definitely don't question why almost every video seems designed to make the children cry. They just watch, like, and share and fund the whole operation. But not everyone is buying it. The snark communities have been watching closely, documenting everything, calling out every single violation as it happens. The main hub is our Churco Snark, which has over 1,000 members dedicated to tracking Nick and Lainey's behavior. And then there's spillover on TikTok gossip, various Facebook groups, anywhere people gather to discuss the darker side of family vlogging. And the things they're calling out aren't minor. From suspected child abuse to favoritism so blatant it's impossible to ignore, to constant safety failures, to body shaming a baby because of its head shape. There have been major posts that went viral within these communities. Are you freaking kidding me? From a year ago. Pure rage at another cruel prank. The Churcos test kids' abilities from a few months back, breaking down how they give their children age-inappropriate tasks just to see them fail on camera. And then there are the compilation videos. These things circulate, get watched by hundreds of thousands of people who aren't part of the core fan base, and the criticism is growing and the call-outs are getting louder. But the funny thing is Nick and Lainey's response to all the negativity. They mostly ignore it. The only time they've directly addressed any hate was when people criticized baby Graham's head shape. And even then, they turned that into content.
Things like that, like saying my son looks like an alien, there's something wrong with him, like he has an abnormally large head and he's so ugly, and things like that. Like, he's the cutest little boy, like, and if you don't think so, that's fine.
Well, when you post your children's faces, their routines, their vulnerabilities to an audience of millions, you're not just reaching loving families who think your kids are cute, you're opening the door to everyone. And that includes people with very dark intentions. So let's examine where we find the Churcos of recent. Because if you're expecting some kind of redemption arc or moment of clarity, I'm afraid the evidence suggests otherwise. They're still posting consistently across YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. The Dreamhouse move in December barely created a pause in production. Relocating to a mansion with 4 children under the age of 5 might reasonably take a week to settle in. The Churcos were back to their regular upload schedule within days, which tells you exactly where their priorities lie. But here's what matters right now. 4 children are still being framed, still having their worst moments packaged and sold, and still growing up with cameras in their faces and strangers analyzing their every developmental milestone and behavioral struggle.
Oh, hugs. That's so sweet. Oh, that's sweet, girls. High five.